Salut! There's this conversation I've been having shortly, but today I've really decided to have this conversation and I really want to be very indifferent, to a lot of things. I found myself in the comment section yesterday, and guess what happened? It really opened my eyes to see the perspective that people have. Now, listen to me, raising children is not something that we should leave to chance. Raising children is something that we should take accountability for. We should be accountable for it. Like we should own it and forget about all the chances that we are grappling with. We should forget about, we are in a general, people have said right now human beings have evolved, human thinking is different. Right now we even have pronouns. Right now we even have, we have to specify for the women who identify as female. And please, that's not the crux of this conversation. Is simply saying that we should take authority, we should take responsibility for raising children from cradle to whatever level where they need us. We cannot leave things to chance. The most you should do is flip your strategies to be in sync with the time. I'm in the comment section and the majority of the people are saying that this thing now God do that is the grace of God. Yes, it's the grace of God. And part of your responsibility is to pray and ask for that grace of God. Do you understand? We need to own it. Let's stop leaving the chances of the future that this child may turn out to be something else. Let's leave that right now with every step, with every second, with every decision, with every action and every activity. Let us own the fact that we are raising children. And the question will be, what kind of children do we want to raise? I know I've not said it is easy. It's not easy. It's demanding. In the past 10 years of my life, I have not accepted any job that doesn't align with my responsibility as a mother to my children. I will not take it. And please, in case you're thinking I didn't have options, no, I did. But the moment my children will suffer, I will drop it. Because at least I owe them that, and I owe my old age that. I don't want to be stressed in my old age. And nobody should tell me that I don't have control of these things. All to the 100% that I have a control of, I will hold on to that. And at least at the end of the day, I hope that I get a worthy, and I know I'm not hoping that I get a worthy score at the end of the day. Can we just stop all of this? It's my job. It's not my job. It is, no. Can we stop all of that? And can we just get back to the basics? We are complaining about human character. Part of the reason why human character is morphing into what it is morphing into is the fact that go back and check how that person was raised. Sometimes you hear things like, who raised you? I think Falz the Bad Guy even sang the song. I said, Mama raised the gentleman. You have to be intentional. When you raise a young man, listen, when I was raised, one thing I keep using for an example is that I was taught not to use swear words. And it's so hard for me to use swear words, even in my old age, even when all of my inklings have been towards a social circle, towards being social and outgoing. It's so heavy. I don't use swear words. I can hardly use the F word, to be honest, because that's how I was raised. And for those of you who think, now listen, I'll give you a personal story. I always share my personal stories. Life has put me through too many experiences not to share them with you. I am not ashamed, because I believe that I went through these experiences for the learning of other people as well. I've had the privilege of raising adopted kids. I've had the privilege of trying to raise street kids. I've had the privilege of raising biological kids. And I do not think that all of these experiences was for me just to have them so that other people can learn as well. And I can tell you for a fact, I'll give you an example. The kids who grew up with me from cradle do not struggle to do certain things. The kids who came in at a particular time struggle a little bit. Now, this is one of the examples. I picked a boy he was about 7 years old, even when people said that he may be older. Do you know that because he had been on the streets for too long, even when I gave him a mattress to sleep on, he would come down from the mattress and sleep on the bare floor? Because he was used to sleeping on the floor. One day I walked into his room. He had peed by the corner of the room, and he had a toilet and a bathroom to himself. Why? Because that is what his upbringing that is how he was raised. He didn't know any other methods. What is my point? My point is that if you start from the beginning, when you miss a step in raising up a child, you will have to do the work twice as much. From cradle or marks from 3 years old all through when the child is in primary school is an essential to develop their cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. You cannot take these things for granted. You shape character from the beginning. It's like putting water in a can and putting in a freezer. It will take the form and the shape of that can you used in freezing it. You need to know the period when you're to teach a child, when you're to train a child, when you're to be friends with a child. I love my children, but there's a time when I'm not friends with them because I don't want them to commonize the teachings. You've got to invest your time in understanding these things. And when you miss one part, you're going to miss, it's going to be difficult. So let us start early. It's not enough for us to say that people are not reflecting or showing values. You go to place of work, everybody behaves just anyhow. I'm afraid to say a well-brought-up person cannot just behave anyhow. You have more than one child. Let your children build a community of people. And look, in that comment section I was in, people were saying that don't mind how other people are raising their children. I am concerned. I won't correct it, but I'm concerned because the children that I am raising are not going to remain in my house. My children are going to interact with your children. My sons are going to marry your daughters if they are to get married. My daughters are going to marry your sons. So why shouldn't I be concerned? I'm generally concerned in the shape that we are giving the future. What we have today is, look, what we have today, I see a lot of things and my heart melts, my heart breaks. I went to a boarding house. Today I have to look for schools and I have to understand things because a lot is going on wrong. But at the same time, kudos to those who are doing a fantastic job. Let's not shy away from it. Let's not say, I want to be careful in case. No, these are not things for you to, I want us to authoritatively, confidently own child raising, child rearing, child nurturing. If not for anybody, if you don't want to do it for society, do it for yourself. I'm not going to be running all around after my son in the future because he was a nuisance. I'm not going to be running all around after my daughter because she was a nuisance. And so what I'm going to do now is take responsibility 100% in shaping their lives. And I tell you the truth, even when they get restless in their lives, because restlessness at some point sets in as children grow up, what they are going to act upon most of the time is the knowledge of what you have taught them. It's the character that you have shaped them to be. We need to go back to the drawing board. Some of the problems that we have in society are born out of the fact that children are not raised properly. The hustle and bustle is inclusive. I can understand, but we've got to make time out so we don't regret our inactions and our actions in the future. It's not easy to raise children. Children will push you, children will frustrate you, but the truth of the matter is that you can't leave it to chance. Know when to apply the different techniques. In the process of your pain and your frustration and your tiredness, endeavor not to bully them. Always make your space a safe haven for them. Please, I beg us. We cannot leave child rearing and child upbringing to chance. On the internet, I see things. People give their children weed to smoke, give their children shisha to smoke. And they're only acting based on what they know. They think this is acceptable. And you say that people should not be concerned? No, people will be concerned. Even government is concerned. That's why they'll take that's why the person will be brought to books. Don't make comments like it's not, no. I'm interested in everything. I'm concerned for how my friends raise their children and how I raise my children my children will operate in a world. Am I perfect? No, but I'm trying. And I'm not letting the fact that I'm tired some of the time, I'm not letting the fact that it is frustrating some of the time to deter me, because I have a focus that I want to raise responsible and valuable children. That's so that even in my old age, when I teach my children kindness, that there's a need to be kind, even in my old age, they would dish out some kindness to me. Not because I would demand it, but because by virtue of how I have raised them, I've raised them to be kind people. I need my children to be kind to me in my old age when I cannot help myself. That is why you teach your children everything. I have, by the grace of God, raised 5 children, and all of them different strategies, because they are all not the same, but they are basic fundamentals that they must learn. Some are very fast, others are very slow. Sometimes when I'm the fast ones, I have to move as fast. Sometimes when I'm the slow ones, I have to cool down, I have to slow down. I have to understand the peculiarity of all of their needs, and I have to box all of this and ensure that I raise the community. And I have to teach the fast ones how to manage and how to love and how to be patient with the slow ones. Every second is valuable. Please, I'm begging us, let's not shy away from this thing. That is where our badge of honor lies. Of all the things that I will achieve in this life, those children in my space are the only beings that would be in my space through childhood. They won't be in your space. So I should wear my badge of honor that I did the most for them. I can choose to be a very successful career woman. A lot of people are successful in their careers. I can choose to be a broadcast journalist and be excellent at it. We have a lot of broadcast journalists who are excellent. I can choose to be a very stylish woman. We have a lot of stylish women. But you see, the 5 children in my space and in my corner, they will not have the privilege of growing in your space and your corner. The one thing that I have that you don't have right now is those children in my space. And the universe has made it so because the universe trusts that I should be able to raise them, not to be a nuisance, but to be value to society, to value to the universe. That is the one thing that I would do. And I say, this is my badge of honor. And in my old age, when I look at that, I should be able to say, yes, did I wear my badge of honor? Thank you. Au revoir.